In this video, I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and I'm going to talk about Joe Rogan, and I'm going to tell you why Joe Rogan is such a likable character. Maybe you've seen, the Joe Rogan podcast or seen his videos on YouTube. I always find myself getting sucked into a Joe Rogan video about some kind of topic. He always has someone that interests me on there. The reason why I'm so interested in Joe Rogan's podcast is not really about the guests. It's about how Joe is going to interact with the guests, which is what makes things so interesting. And you're going to learn how you can apply those same concepts to make yourself more likable when you're talking to people and to really build up your charisma. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, get the physique you want, get the girls that you want, and to go from the victim mindset to the bulldog mindset. If that sounds like something that you are interested in, if you just want to find out some more, click that subscribe button and join us and become a fucking bulldog. He has a huge diversity of opinion within himself and within the people that he interviews. One thing that really makes a person likable and really makes Joe likable, in my opinion, is that he hears from all kinds of different people, right? He's had Bernie Sanders on there. He's had Alex Jones on his show, right? He's had pretty much anyone. Roseanne Barr, he's friends with Roseanne Barr, right? And guys like Alex Jones. He's able to make friends and really communicate with people whether or not he agrees with them or not. He doesn't really hate people. He doesn't have people on his show, okay? He doesn't talk with people and then necessarily just agree with everything they're saying and just nod his head. If he disagrees, he says he disagrees. He does it in the right way, but he doesn't just focus on just one side of the equation. He gets all kinds of diverse people on, and that's just something, how can you apply this yourself? Have diverse groups of friends. Have friends that are on different areas of the political spectrum. Have different friends that are in different walks of life, and honestly have open dialogues with them. Don't just treat them like garbage or treat people like garbage because they disagree with you. And not really have an agenda, right? Just trying to figure out what is the truth, I think is a real good strategy for coming across more charismatic and having people like you. He listens before judging. If you watch Joe on his show, right, you will notice that he waits to form an opinion. He doesn't just already have an opinion. I mean, he's got an opinion, but he will listen before he judges what someone says. He will actually listen. He'll listen to what other people have to say. He's hearing out all the evidence. Just the other day, I watched him on his show. He had someone who was in the, I think it was either Navy or Air Force. He had sighted UFOs, right? And, some people would say, oh, this guy's crazy, right? But, Joe listened to a story, right? He listened and he listened and he listened to hear what he was going to say, and then he formed an opinion about it. If you listen to people, if you really absorb what they're saying, you're gonna find that people are going to want to talk to you because they know that you're going to be a rational, analytical human being who's going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Have you ever been in an argument with someone, or maybe you've got a coworker or a friend of yours that there's no point in making any kind of case to them because they're going to judge you automatically before you've even said anything. But then maybe you've got some people that you really like to talk to because you know that they've got some kind of opinion, but they're going to hear you out and they're going to listen and they're really going to give you some really good advice, or they're really going to give you some input, and they're not going to prejudge what you're saying based on whether they agree with it or not. They're going to be able to listen to it and give you some advice. He asks a lot of questions. When he's listening to a guest, right, you'll notice that he's asking them questions. Question. And what I mean is, it's not just like interview questions. He's trying to form his opinion or decide what the truth is, almost like a lawyer, okay? Almost like cross-examining a witness, but not in a harsh way. He's just asking, he's clarifying these things. Oh, so did this happen? Did this happen? And really what happens when he asks those questions, and based on the type of questions he asks, is he's able to express an opinion without expressing an opinion. So he's very diplomatic in doing that. He doesn't upset the guests. He doesn't upset the people that are the friends and the family and the fans of the guests. If they're saying something that's ridiculous, it'll lead them further down that direction, and other people can judge. He doesn't have to, call them out on everything. He does call people out. He's honest, okay? If he doesn't like something, he says it. He says it in a very diplomatic way, though. You're going to get the straight shit from him. He's a straight shooter, right? You know that he's going to tell you what he really thinks about something, but he's going to do it in a nice way. He will listen before he judges, but at the end he will eventually say what he really thinks, or he'll stop him and he'll say, hey, wait a minute, no, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, or I disagree with that, and he'll say it. So he'll be blunt. They love his honesty. They love the fact that he is not kissing anyone's ass just because they're on his show, that he's shooting the shit back and forth with them, right? And that, you know, sometimes there's some discussion, sometimes there's almost an argumentative attitude, but again, he's really quick to disarm that. He's really quick to make sure that he's not making it personal, right? He's just talking about these points, and you can actually get some in-depth discussion. I think a lot of interviews, when you watch people that interview, they just really pump up the guest, or they really just pump up that one viewpoint. I've been guilty of it myself, right? I have interviewed people on my channel here sometimes where, you know, I probably should have disagreed with them a little bit more. I shouldn't have been so accepting of their view, but I don't want to insult the guest, right? But he does a great job of doing it and just setting the format for the show where you know that he's just having conversation, and sometimes he'll agree, sometimes he won't agree. And if you can learn how to do that, you know, people will respect you, right? Because if you can disagree with someone in a respectful way, they're going to trust your judgment. They're going to trust that you're not just blowing smoke up their ass. They're going to trust that you're actually saying what your real opinion is. So many people are so weak, they can't do that. You know, it's a really masculine attribute to be able to step up and be the fucking man and tell someone when they're fucking wrong, and not just kiss up to them, right? But to do it in such a way as Joe does, that remains making you likable, that keeps people believing that they want to keep on talking to you, and that you're not just a piece of shit asshole that's just insulting them. Joe is tough, okay? He practices what he preaches, all right? He's not just some guy who, you know, is just interviewing all these awesome people. He's a fucking awesome person himself. He was an MMA fighter, right? He refs MMA fights now. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian, successful, right? He's got the podcast. He trains. You see his training every day, but he still maintains that humility. When you listen to Joe Rogan, that he doesn't really have anything to prove. He's already done a lot of shit, right? And you know that he's capable, right? You trust that. When you've got someone who's so high above you, so awesome, who's done so much shit, but talks to you, you know, down to earth, doesn't like try and pretend like they're so much better than you, and can just relate to people, that just says a lot more about you can trust what they're saying, right? And you like that. You feel like that person is a person that is down to earth. If you want to be likable, if you want to have a high level of charisma, do a lot of fucking tough shit. Be awesome. People like David Goggins, you know, Joe Rogan, guys that have actually accomplished it in their life. They know that you've done hard shit. They know you're a fucking bulldog, and so you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and everything that you do is going to be amplified by that. Someone like Joe is probably someone who, no matter what topic you have to talk about, he's going to find something, he's going to have something to relate to. It's going to be interesting. Joe doesn't take things personally. Someone can say something a little harsh to him, okay? Someone can say something that is completely against his principles or his opinion. Even when the whole Alex Jones, I think Alex Jones said some stuff about Joe on his show. Joe still had Alex on the show, and he just treated him like an old friend, right? He didn't take anything personally. Anger is weakness, right? And when we see people that are easily angered, that are easily butthurt, we feel like they're weak. We feel like it makes us feel uncomfortable. It doesn't make us feel like we're in a very good environment. Then we tend to dislike people. Go take the quiz, see what your score is now. I will talk to you next time. Take care.